Trash Talkers, you guys let us know. Out of all the horror movies you've seen, who do you think the strongest is? Like, just cannot be beaten.
Yeah.
Jason, there's a good point. Or a good question. He has a good chance in that argument, as being one of the strongest ones.
Yeah, without, like, supernatural forces intervening.
I mean, even if you bring in supernatural, you still can't kill him.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah, that's true. I mean, maybe Pinhead has a case that he could lock him up in a box somewhere or something.
But it's not dead. I'm talking about kill him. Like, who can get rid of him?
I don't think he can. He's never died so far.
Hey, blast off, I can talk my ass off. Hey, Smokey, what you seen, and I'll tell you what I saw. Hollywood, what you think, and I'll tell you what I thought. And we can talk about it all when we here on Trash Talk.
What's going on, everybody? We are back with another episode of the Trash Talkers podcast.
We made it.
We made it, Smoke.
Yeah, we did.
Go ahead and talk football for a second, buddy.
Oh, man, you want to talk some football?
Unless you got something else.
I wasn't going to, but I'll talk some football
Go
if you
ahead.
really want to now.
Get it off your...
Hey, the Falcons won.
We won. Yes,
Yeah.
Go Atlanta.
Yeah. Georgia was off this week, so we didn't get to get another win out of it. But, hey, it's a good week of football, man. Lots of scoring, man.
Yeah.
That was a critique at the beginning of the season. Everybody's like, scoring is so down this year, but they got to do the swing of things. We're seeing some high-scoring games now.
Sweet. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to if you guys are fantasy football players, remember, Smokey has a football podcast linked down below if you guys are interested in checking that out. What's going on with me, man? I watched the fights this weekend, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Max Holloway got knocked out for the first time ever.
Snapped him.
Yeah, Ilya put him to sleep. Robert Whitaker got choked out by Khamzat Chimaev in the second round. Bro, he put him in a guillotine, but it wasn't even. It was like a bulldog choke. He put it under his chin, and he squeezed so hard that it cracked his bone.
Dang,
Like,
really?
I mean, you know how hard, like,
Yeah.
and he just like
Yeah, it'd be a lot of force.
a lot. It was a great week of.
Yeah.
He
So
gets
all the old heroes are going down, ain't they?
man. What's crazy is Max is only 31.
Dang, he's been around a long time.
You gotta
though.
think about it. He came in the UFC at 20.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's crazy, man. But no, today, guys, we have an interesting topic. Today, we're gonna be talking about our favorite scary movies. But before we do that, we always read the top 3 comments from the previous podcast, which happened to be the Satanic Panic.
Yeah.
We're continuing on with the Halloween spirit. So the number 3 most liked comment from the previous podcast comes from JG's Rhythm 100. Shout out JG's Rhythm.
JG
Whitworth 877. Oh,
yes, no.
JG's Rhythm 100 said, speaking of Satanic Panic, original Iron Maiden singer Paul Di'Anno passed away. Rest in
I
peace.
heard that. Yeah.
First 2 albums in his honor suggest Killer's title track from the second album, 81, should be viewed more as a punk metal closer to Motorhead.
Oh, wow. Most of what we've heard has been Bruce, but we do need to check out some of Paul.
Especially with you being such a fan of Motorhead,
Yeah, Motorhead. You said Iron Maiden.
Yeah, so closer to Motorhead.
Oh, closer to Motorhead. Okay, gotcha.
All right.
Yeah, Motorhead did have a blend of
Yes.
metal and punk.
That's a fact. Number 2, most liked comment from the Satanic Panic podcast comes from Ken Bober. Ken, thank you for the gifts and everything that you sent us, my friend. God dang it, Ken. Look, bro, you just I'm just Ken. You know. All right, but Ken Bobbers said, my grandmother was a diehard Bible thumper growing up. She would beat my mother with a switch for listening to the Devil Beatles. Wow. Well, when my mother and father were getting married, not a single church would go do this ceremony because she was Protestant and my father was Catholic. That was forbidden a long time ago. They did find someone to do the ceremony, but was looked down upon. That's probably why my parents never cared what I listened to, because if I like it, I like it. My oldest brother is atheist, my middle is Christian, and I'm Luciferian. We all get along just fine. If you keep an open mind, the hate disappears.
Oh, absolutely. You know what, Ken? Tell us your pronunciation again, because you've said it wrong so many times that now I don't even remember if Bobber or Bober is right.
Were you thinking that the whole time I was reading that?
Yes. But I did hear the part about getting beat with a switch for listening to the Beatles.
Yeah, and shout out to your siblings as
a
well.
lot of old-fashioned parents, man. They were doing that back in those days.
That's a fact. Tell your siblings we said hi, and all 3 of y'all being of different religions. But that's a good quote he said. He said, if you keep an open mind, the hate disappears.
Yeah.
I like that.
That happens.
The number one most comment comes from Evil_1 says all the leaves are brown and the skies are gray. Is because I said that's probably the most satanic song ever.
Yeah.
But Evil_1 says all the leaves are brown and the skies are gray is saying winter is coming in California.
Yeah.
California is sun and fun. I was joking, of course.
Yeah.
But I am from the Satanic Panic 80s. It was crazy. The PMRC tried to rate and ban music.
Oh yeah.
Had to protect our fragile little minds, LOL. But all it did was make us want more. I love black metal, Venom, Possessed, Bathory, and so on. Even Motley Crue got into it. Slayer really drove parents crazy. Damn it, I miss the 80s now. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
LOL.
Hey, we did a podcast on the PMRC. At least we talked about it a good bit. If you want to go back through the archives and check that out.
Okay, yeah, check that out. Speaking on that comment that you just put, let me check something here real quick because you had mentioned Motley Crue actually, and
oh yeah, we do have a Motley Crue coming out.
Out later today. You guys come join us in the live chat. But we were like, how can Motley Crue be tied into Halloween and Satanic Panic? But they found a way to do it.
They did.
So, guys, today, leave your comments on what your top 3 favorite scary movies are. But me and Smokey, we talk about this topic often when we're on Spiral Outs and through the podcast. But today, why not let's just break it down, Smokey?
Yeah, our favorite horror movies. Now, I always tend to stray away from, The Exorcist and The Shining, which those are great movies, no doubt about it, and they set a precedent for their times. But I always liked something just a little off the beaten path, I can't say that one of my movies is a B movie, but at least one of them was. And the other one, I guess it wasn't a B movie when they made the remake because I picked the remake, which was more mainstream at that time. But originally, the horror movie was a B movie that it was made from. Lots of horror movies start out as B movies. Like we were talking about Terrifier, yes. And how they usually start off as really low-budget movies.
Apparently $35,000 budget.
Yeah, oh, that's crazy,
Crazy.
And they grow in popularity until, they make the sequel and it's got a bigger budget. And then usually by the third one, they're mainstream horror movies.
I got another one that's kind of B-list that, or I guess probably started off as a B movie, is Blair Witch Project.
Yeah, that's another one.
I think that
is so low budget. Like, ridiculously budget. You never even saw the bad guy.
They use the same camera we're using right now.
Yeah, exactly. I like to say we got that old soap opera movie, soap opera show camera. Remember you'd watch the soap operas and it'd be like this glassy look? It was because they used like really cheap film and they would film over it and over it because they made thousands and thousands of episodes. So they had to keep reusing the film over and over again, and they used cheap cameras with lenses,
back to what you were saying about the B movie scary movies. It's crazy, but why do I like you said, you don't, yes, you could say The Exorcist and The Shining, like one of my favorite movies, not just horror, but one of my favorite movies of all time, Devil Reject and House of a Thousand Corpses. Love them, great movies. But for some reason, is it me or do you feel like some of the greatest are B movies?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know why that is. Why do so many people that want to do low budget films go straight to horror? That's a question.
Maybe because, like you mentioned, the camera, it adds
It does add an effect if you have a cheap camera, and especially the found footage like Blair Witch, and Paranormal Activity. Like it's so easy to make those movies, but then they just blow up and people are into it. I think a lot of those, like the found footage, originally people thought they were real.
Yeah.
I mean, you're definitely not going to show someone's death at a theater.
Yeah.
So it should have given it away, but originally, the marketing campaigns pushed it as, hey, this is found footage. Like, we just found this in the woods.
I mean, that's great marketing if you think about it, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, and it also, like, you see those things on YouTube, they were like, top 5 videos from the dark web. Like, they look low budget, or it'll be like a mannequin with, like, for some reason, just the quality of it makes it more disturbing. But feel free, start your list off.
You want me to start first?
Yeah, what you got? What's your number 3 most favorite?
Number 3. I don't know which. I didn't even really place them in an order, but I'll start with one that my daughter actually started watching with me. I had this even before she was born. I had it on DVD. But I always loved the Evil Dead movies. But the third Evil Dead movie was called Army of Darkness. And my daughter watched that when she was really young because I thought it was just comedic enough to where it wasn't too scary, you know? And ever since then, it's been a ritual. We watch it every Halloween. We watch Army of Darkness.
Have y'all watched it this year yet?
Not this year yet, but she's coming over to watch it at the end of the week.
I mean, hey.
But,
so you thought it was on the veins of like an Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, like
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Evil Dead was a really low budget movie, the original one. You never even saw the killer in that either. I don't think. Well, other than the Deadites and Army of Darkness, you did get to see the killers there because the evil was this entity that was raised by reading the Necronomicon. And it would raise this entity, and you never got to see it. It was just the camera would like whisk through the woods, and that's supposed to be the evil coming at you. You know?
Oh, wow.
They never actually had the killer on screen except for when he would possess other people and become that.
It's almost like the POV was the monster.
Yeah, exactly.
The point of view. Wow.
And eventually, he got after in Evil Dead 2. He sent the evil back into where it came from, but he got sucked into the portal also, and he found himself back in medieval times. And he was like prophesized as the one that comes from the future to save the kingdom from the evil Deadites.
Damn.
So since he had a little bit of knowledge because he had already been fighting this evil, he was the chosen one that had to go and retrieve the Necronomicon to save the kingdom.
That's actually a pretty dope plot.
It
actually,
is. And it's fun too. I mean, some hilarious moments in there.
Yeah, and maybe we should have said spoiler. There's going to be some
yeah,
spoilers.
You might want to, spoiler alert.
Yeah,
for sure.
We probably should.
But these movies are, 30, 40 years old. So
yeah.
At this point, if you wanted to see it, you might should have already seen it.
Yeah, and that actually sounds interesting. I want to check that one out, man. You have to send me a copy of your list, and I'll send you a copy of mine.
Definitely.
We'll do that. All right, so here's mine. And again, I didn't put them in really any particular order, but we did a Spiral Out, and I could not remember the name of this, but I found it, I rewatched it, and I was like, dude, this is a good movie. And, like you said, a B movie. Mm-hmm. It's called Glorious. And it takes place. So this guy, remember when we went to go see Tool? If we actually vlogged it. We went to go see Tool, and we stopped on like at a rest stop, and there was like that little bathroom we went to. You know what I mean? Yeah. So this dude's driving. He's got to pee. Stops at this random little bathroom. Goes in there. Can't get out. Some dude walks in, and he's in the bathroom actually using it. He was like, wait, don't close the door. Can't get out. And then the handicap stool, and again, you never see the monster. Yeah. You never see it. And in the handicap stall, you hear this voice talking like this, and it's such a mental mind game where it's like, who is this dude? And you're the whole time you're like, all right, go, the door's open, go. And he's like, God, I can't get out the freaking bathroom. And he's stuck in there with this thing that's got like things oozing out the bottom and tentacles. And he's like, God, I just want to get out. And then the thing starts like playing mind games with him. And like, he's looking in the mirror and he's like, God, he's breaking the mirror, like trying to like open the stall and get the whatever the thing is behind the stall with like a cut piece of glass, and then someone else walks in and he's like, please don't open the door, but then they see him that he's covered in blood, so they just shut the door like, no, let me out. It's such a psychological horror film where it's one of those ones where you're like, just go, dude. Like, go to the door's open. Go. And
by the point where there is an opening, he's so broke down
he
mentally
can't get to
that
it.
He can't. Yeah.
Man, and I don't want to spoil the end because it's a really good movie. But at the I thought about it because he finally used the bathroom after the third time he wasn't able to get out the bathroom, and there's a little hole there where it's got like this drawing of like a octopus tentacle thing, and he's like peeking through the hole
in the wall.
Yeah, and then it just.
Wonder what that hole was used for.
That I never made the connection, but is that why it's called Glorious?
Yeah.
Glorious.
I haven't seen the movie, but I'm assuming so.
Yeah. And he's just in the bathroom like, God, just let me out. And he peeks through that little hole and Such a good movie, man. Go check it out. Go check it out. It's a
good concept.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. A lot of people hated this movie, but I absolutely loved it, man. It's Freddy versus Jason.
I ain't gonna lie, Smokey. I did not like that movie.
Dude, that is one of the best movies ever.
Wow.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. They make these sequels, and everybody's like, "Oh, this movie sucks," because it's just not what I wanted it to be. But sometimes you just got to leave the creativity up to the people who are making the movie.
Yeah.
You can't really, especially with franchises like that, you expect it to be something in your head, and then when you get it, it's not that because they don't know what's in your head.
That's like you.
So they made it in their vision, and then people are like, "That's not the way I wanted it."
Yeah, that's like you with the monsters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because everybody gets this idea like this is how it should be done, and they do that with reoccurring things all the time, like reoccurring. Any kind of entertainment.
Yes,
sitcoms.
Like
they want it to be the way they want it to end or whatever, but they're not you, so they're going to make it in a different way, and people lash out these days. But when Freddy vs. Jason came out, I absolutely loved it, man. I looked at it almost like a superhero movie. Like, you got this evil supervillain, right? No mortal can beat this supervillain. So what do? We go get our own supervillain to battle that supervillain. Dude, I loved it. I don't know. They had an epic fight scene in there.
Yeah, now I will say, I think I remember the fights. And again, movies are just like music. If it's subjective. If you like it, cool. If you don't, whatever. But I do remember the fight scene. Didn't Freddy win?
No. Well,
I thought like at the end they were in the water or something.
Yeah, they went into they got blown up eventually. The kids fought back against both of them. They were in this epic battle of immortality forever. But the kids blew them up and they went off into the lake. And Jason had actually won because he chopped Freddy's head off, and he's walking out of the water at the very end, holding Jason's head, heading back for his cabin, Camp Crystal Lake. He's taking the head, I guess, to his mom, whatever. But then Freddy winks at the camera because there was supposed to be a part 2 that never got made.
Damn, maybe I am tripping. Maybe that probably was a better movie than I'm imagining now.
If you go back and watch it, if you watched it cynically when you first saw it, you probably should go back and watch it now, and you might realize this is better than I thought it was.
Am I thinking of another movie? Well, isn't there one where I remember Jason being in space or something?
Oh, that was Jason X.
Okay, that might be.
No, that one. I'll agree with that. That one.
Yeah, okay, that because I just remember it's what? How do you kill Jason? How is it possible?
I mean, you can't because he'll just reincarnate. That was Jason X, right? It wasn't his heart there, I believe it was, and the guy ended up eating his heart and becoming the new Jason.
That is right.
You can't kill the undead.
Is Jason the strongest bad guy? Think about it. If you can't, what do you?
Yeah. I mean, he's got to be, right?
Well, let's think about this. What fictional horror?
I mean, Michael Myers was a big, strong, undead creature. I think originally he was supposed to be immortal, though, right?
I still think Jason wins because, like you said.
Yeah, I mean, look at the battle in Freddy versus Jason. They fought. They hit each other with oxygen tanks.
I remember that. It was
They stabbed each other they neither could die until Jason brought him into the real world, and then he became mortal, and they still had another epic battle.
And he still winked with his head off.
Yeah. Chopped his head off, and he's like, nope, he didn't get me.
Trash Talkers, you guys let us know. Out of all the horror movies you've seen, who do you think the strongest is? Just cannot be beaten.
Yeah.
Jason, there's a good point. Or a good question, he has a good chance in that argument, as being one of the strongest ones.
Yeah, without supernatural forces intervening.
I mean, even if you bring in supernatural, you still can't kill him.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, that's true. I mean, maybe Pinhead has a case that he could lock him up in a box somewhere or something.
But it's not dead. I'm talking about kill him. Who can get rid of him?
I don't think he can. He's never died so far.
Damn, hell. We could make that a whole podcast,
Yeah.
man. All right, moving on to my next one, Smoke Dog.
Mm-hmm.
It's a movie. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's called VHS.
VHS, yeah.
Have you seen that?
Dang, I saw it when I was a kid.
Man, that's a good movie. It's so.
I'm trying to remember the plot.
So it's like 3 different movies going on at once, and like I remember they
didn't they work at a movie store or something? Or am I thinking of something else?
I think you might be thinking.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking of three. I think there was like 3 movies, but the one that I remember the most is like they were in a hotel, and like he's got like his girlfriend with him, and then like the phone rings and no one's there, and then something moves and it's nothing, and then like they go to sleep and then the TV's on, and then they're like, "Baby, did you turn the TV on?" They're like, "No," and then this girl, like, she looks like, cute girl, she starts talking to the boyfriend of the girl that's there. She's like, leave him alone, and she ends up offing that girl, and then the dude was like, all right, what you about? And so he starts,
after the death?
She kind of like forced him to, in a way. I mean, and this is just one. There's like 3 different plots, but this is the one at the very beginning. And this girl is like, like, hey, you're going to, and she starts like, she went down on him and like bit his thing off, and then turns out she flew like. But it's all being recorded on a low budget camera, and it's a random VHS tape that just man, it's hard to explain, because then there's another plot in it where these 2 guys are exploring like this house, and they walk into the house, and there's just a old dude sitting in the chair, eyes open, TV just on white noise static, just sitting there, and there's like, he's like, dude, I think he's. And it was like, keep going. So they're just rumbling through his house, and they're hearing stuff, and then they go down and they find a VHS, and then they're plugging the VHS, and it's the exact the VHS that they. Well, it's them watching the guy sit like, man. It's one of those ones where it really makes you think, and you're like,
it's got 3 different acts.
Yeah, and it all at the end they all tie in somehow. It's crazy, man. You might be onto something with the camera.
Oh yeah, the low budget.
Because look, we have seen the comments. Yes, guys, we are trying. It's not the camera. We have seen the comments that, oh, y'all, you need to update your camera. We have, okay, we have. We gonna make it one day. We get there. But what if somebody's out there one day, or somebody's out there like, these YouTubers are just because of the camera quality, dude? That'd be crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, we actually could transfer the camera over to a different one, but we have this set up to where the way we need it. Yeah. So we'd have to change everything around if we did that. But,
like, what if like someone like 100 years ago or 100 years from now, they're watching this and they're like, these were time travelers or something, just because of the, you know what I'm talking about? Like,
what, are we shooting this in the 80s?
I'm okay, maybe not time travelers, but these guys were me. I'm trying to come up with some scary movie plot with the camera, like watching this 100 years, and they're just looking at me and you thinking like,
dang, they got a lot of episodes.
Oh yeah, y'all got a lot, but maybe that might be part of the lore. Maybe like,
if anybody can make it to the end, you'll see that crazy finale.
Oh, man,
we don't even know what it is yet.
We don't know what it is, or do we?
Yeah, we'll get there.
We'll get there.
Okay, my last one is not the original, but the remake in 2004 of Dawn of the Dead.
I've never seen one.
I know. I mean, I expected you not to. I didn't know for sure, but I expected that you hadn't seen it. But here's the thing. Zombie movies, that? Right?
Okay.
Dawn of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead, all those kicked off the zombie craze in theater, right? So this was the remake, and it was updated for that time. I'm sure it would seem nostalgic at this point now, but 20 years ago, this was a state-of-the-art horror movie, right? There were zombies that could actually run for the first time.
So you're talking about the remake?
Yeah.
What year did that come out? Or around about?
The remake?
the one that's on your list.
2004.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
20 years ago. But
oh wow, you know it down to the T.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah. I went and saw this in the theater. The original was like 78 or something like that.
Yeah, I've heard the name before, but yeah. But so these running ability zombies.
Yeah, they can run finally. Like, that's what made it so scary. Before then, zombies were just slow, plodding, walking, pacing, you know. Now that zombies can actually run, that makes it way scarier. Because there's a lot less chance you're going to get away. Out of hundreds and hundreds of zombies, one of them's going to be faster than you.
Yeah.
At least.
You know, back to Jason for a second.
Okay.
Wouldn't Jason be classified as a zombie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, he really was.
I mean, and
Michael Myers too.
Dude, that dude is the fat. You know how they have the Olympic walking? I don't know how he do it.
Power walking.
Bro, dudes be on motorcycles.
And then look
he's
back
just,
and he's still there.
How are you here?
Just barely walking.
I mean, buddy, in a.
You get in an airplane, you land on the other side of the continent, and he's still. As soon as you walk off the plane, he's right behind
Waiting
you.
on you, bro. It's crazy. Not only is the dude probably the best villain, but he might be the fastest villain too.
Yeah, that never moves fast.
Never moves. For bro, we were in Connecticut. I got on an airplane nonstop and ended in Australia. And you are here. How?
Walking across the desert, just headed for you.
Swimming underwater the whole time, just trying to get to you, man. But no, the Walking Dead.
I don't even think he swam. He just walked under the water. He walked across the ocean floor and just walked right out.
Oh my God, I could see that. Sharks just coming up.
Yeah.
Just
stepped on an octopus.
Hey, Jason might be the OG.
Yeah.
Man, so
he's invincible, man. But so they held up in a mall, right?
Mm-hmm.
To blockade themselves from the zombies, and they stayed there until they were running out of water and food. And they eventually built this vehicle that could barrel through all the zombies, because at this point in time, 90% of the world had become zombified. Mm-hmm. So they had this plan to get on a yacht. They're going to go out to this island that they had heard was uninhabited, so they could live the rest of their lives there away from the zombies. The zombies can't get to them with the ocean in between. So that was the end of the movie, right? They made it onto the yacht, and they're headed for freedom. They finally got away from the zombies, the few people that were left. And it picks up with found footage from a camcorder.
Of course.
So they get, it showed them partying on the boat. They're like, whoa, we made it. We're alive, And at the very end, they drop the camera, and you can hear that the island was absolutely inhabited with zombies, and they were all dead.
Damn.
That's a big spoiler alert.
Yeah, another one I'm going to have to check out, man.
Yeah.
Another one. Okay. So far, so good. All of them, man. All right. My final one. That was your final one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Too, right? All right. Bear with me here, Smokey.
Yeah.
My number one.
Yeah.
Bambi. Terrifying. When Bambi, when she saw Bambi, when Bambi saw her mom get, that was, okay, I'm joking, obviously.
Okay.
I do want
to say we're done here.
Yeah, I'm joking. I do want to bring up something real quick. Do you know the Lion King, right?
Yeah.
You know how everyone thinks Mufasa was the bad guy, and because he wanted to take, Scar was the bad guy because he wanted Mufasa's throne. Have you seen the prequel to the Lion King? There's a prequel to the Lion King.
And Mufasa was the bad guy?
No, yes. So Scar was the son of the king, and he was the rightful owner to it.
He was the older brother.
No, so in this prequel, Scar's dad, was.
But wasn't Mufasa and Scar brothers?
Yeah, but he was he the older one or something?
Scar probably was the older one if he was the rightful heir.
Yes. Wait, what? Damn it. I can't remember how it went. But I saw it somewhere where they had said Scar was actually the rightful owner to it. And then Mufasa took over because of, he was the more loving and he thought he would be better for the people. But turns out Mufasa was actually the bad guy. And Scar he wanted what was his. Yeah. I don't know. Y'all have to look at that.
Simba was the son of evil.
Probably. Lion King, great movie. But no, my number one is a movie called Hereditary.
Hereditary.
Oh, God, dude. That's one of the scariest. And I don't know what it is, man. Yours, you like the Freddy's and the zombies. And mine's I like the ones that play mind games on you. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, what's going to happen here? And it's like, you think that's going to happen, but then it switches. Yeah. And then, so in Hereditary, you got this mom who's just a normal mom. And she's like, I'm living this life. And everything seems fine to her in her eyes, right?
Yeah.
Then she's married to a guy. She's got her husband. She's got her wife, and she's thinking, oh, it's perfectly fine to burn a pigeon. Everyone's like, Mom, what are you doing? And she's like, and she's just doing all these terrible things, and in her eyes she's like, what do you mean it got to in her brain to where she was doing all these bad things, and they're looking at her like you're crazy, and she's like, this is just normal. And it got so bad at the end where she tried to burn her her son, or she ended up offing her husband by like slicing her throat, but she tried to justify it. It was like, hey, I'm doing the right thing, y'all are looking at this the wrong way, and everyone's like just trying to like get away from her. So at the one scene that gets me the best is when she's chasing after her son, trying to burn her son, and then her son goes up in the attic, and then she follows him up in the attic, and there's it's like a cult full of people up there that's just been controlling her mind, that are her ancestors and her people that she used to, like her great this, great that, and they're like saying, hey, do this, and it's like this cult of people that's been in their attic this whole time, and they're all just like, and he's like, oh, like he sees his grandma, and she's like, oh, it's okay, gotcha bitch. And then mama comes up, and they're like, yeah, we've been planning to get you this whole time. And then it's like one of those ones where the bad guy wins, but it's in a effed up, am I explaining it properly? Like the mom's doing bad things and seeing that it's a good thing, but everyone else around her and
isn't that mostly how those things work?
Yeah,
they believe they're justified.
Most of them, in real life. Dude, at that part when he goes upstairs and he's like, oh, I'm someone that's actually gonna see grandmama. Well, I got you, honey. Come here. Gotcha. And then mom comes upstairs. You've been running from us this whole time. There goes uncle. They're all thinking like mom's thinking, not like my husband, who's not part of this family. Yeah. You, who is only part of the family, because you're part of dad too. You know what I mean? Like, you're part me, you're part dad. So we got to get rid of you too. And she ends up getting rid of him. And God, dude, you should watch it, man. Yeah. I'm not explaining it well enough, but if y'all seen Hereditary, y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, definitely.
Whew.
There was a big wave of the psychological horrors, I feel like, came about in the 2000s. It feels like up until the 90s, you had to have the big monster in there.
Yeah, I mean... Ooh.
And then in the 2000s, it became, these are mind games that we're playing.
I'll tell you one where it mixes both really well.
Saw. Yeah, Saw. I was thinking about that, too. Saw is one of those guys where he got away for the most part. He did die in, like, part 6 or whatever, right?
Yeah, but I thought like
he eventually died. And then someone took over for him.
Huh? I remember him dying. I was
because he had cancer.
Yeah, he was on the bed, and have you heard the thing that the guy Saw is actually Macaulay Culkin from Home Alone?
Was that a film theory?
Yeah, because you know how Macaulay Culkin would have all those like you touch the doorknob, it's too hot.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then he eventually came to. I want to play a game.
He knows how to booby trap.
He knows how to. It's just a game, but you might hurt yourself or off yourself in the process.
Play a game.
Man, Saw's a good movie too, dude.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, I lost track after 6 or 7, however many there were. Like I watched the first 4 or 5, whatever it was.
Dude, the one scene, like, there has to be one scene in the Saw franchise that's just stuck in your head, right? Do you have one that's just?
I mean, the original scene. In the bathroom.
Oh, damn, how'd it go?
Or the key behind the eye.
Man, I remember that one.
Yeah.
Mine is the girl when he threw her into all the needles.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
See, he was punishing people for evil ways.
For things they were doing, right?
Yeah, and he would use, whatever their vice was.
Because she was a junkie.
Yeah. Man. I mean, in a way, people started to like him because they felt like he was actually trying to clean up the world, but in real life, you can't just go around offing people because they did something bad.
You can't do it, man. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, some of those movies where you see, like, the villain, like, you kind of root for, some are my favorite, like The Devil's Rejects. I want the bad guys to live. Yeah. Like, you're like,
See, at the first one, like, that's usually how they work, too. Like, the first one, you're all for the people to win, like, and you beat the bad guy. And then you start to grow, like, a fond of the bad guys in part 2. And then part 3, this is all about the bad guy winning. You're just like, kill them all.
Man, I love Otis, dude.
Yeah.
What was the big dude?
Tiny?
Was that his name, Tiny? Where he walked?
What was his name, Tiny?
I think it was. I can't remember.
But and then it was Doctor. What was it, Doctor Evil?
No, Doctor. You had Doctor.
Or
No,
no.
Doctor Satan.
Doctor Satan.
Yeah,
It, yeah.
Doctor Evil's this guy.
Yeah.
Doctor Evil.
Mini-me, stop humping the laser.
Yeah, man, it's that time of the year, guys. It's that time of the year where you sit down, you put some candles on, you turn the lights out, and you watch your scary movies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like Smokey's got his tradition with his daughter and watching. What was it? The
Evil Dead.
Evil Dead.
Army of Darkness. Man, I was thinking too. I bought the entire set of Ouija movies. Ouija 1, 2, 3, and then they just started naming them randomly. Ouija Vengeance and things like that. I bought all of them, and those are the worst movies.
God dang. Ooh.
Like they were. I mean, it was like $1 each, you know. But I
Oh.
bought the entire set and watched like 2 of them, and I was like, this is like a college student project. Like, they were really bad.
Can you think of one movie that you went in with that you were like, oh, this is gonna be amazing, and you were just like, this was absolutely terrible?
Well, not in a theater, but I bought Automation Transfusion when it came out, and it was a zombie movie, and I love zombie movies.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is gonna be great, and I watched it. I was like, this is not good at all.
Wow, you should really watch the show Last of Us, dude. If you like, it's not even zombies, but I know you will like it, dude.
Oh yeah, I like all of them. I Am Legend, like
great movie.
Yeah.
Frank, are you playing with me, Frank?
Yeah. Did they make a part 2 to that?
I don't know. Did they?
I don't know, but I was thinking maybe they did, and I need to see it.
Wow, they did.
I thought they might have.
When he had to.
I know it was a remake originally, anyway.
Really?
I
Am
so.
Legend wasn't a
Let me
remake.
look it up.
The part where he had to strangle his dog.
Oh, I know.
Oh,
Dude, that was
man.
the saddest part.
That was, dude.
Because he got infected.
Yeah,
But he saved him from the zombies, though.
he did.
Yeah, I Am
there is
Legend
an I
2.
Am Legend 2. Is it Will Smith?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I need to see that.
When did that come out?
Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, it's in 2025.
Oh, it hasn't came out yet, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm all for that, man.
Yeah.
I'm all
it
for
says
that.
Michael B. Jordan's in it.
Okay, Michael B. Jordan,
Is it
excited to start.
Okay, so it hasn't come out yet, but I
Alright.
definitely want to see that.
100%. Listen, Trash Talkers, it's the spooky time of the year.
Okay, so maybe it wasn't. I thought it was a remake of an older movie. Oh, it was a novel, 1954.
Oh. Most movies do start out like that,
Yeah,
though. You know?
true.
Again, guys, it's a Halloween time, spooky time of the year. Enjoy yourself, be safe, go trick-or-treating, go trunk-or-treating, watch your scary movies, whatever tradition you may have, do it. Make sure you do it safely. But for me and Smokey, we want to tell all the Trash Talkers out there, happy Halloween.
Absolutely.
100%. Guys, let us know what your top 3 favorite scary movies are down in the comment section. And with that being said, my name is Bears of Hollywood 6. Bye.
I am Larry Smokey Ramirez.
And we are
Over
and
out.
deuces.
Yeah, boy.